On the 14th of September 2023 at 1100 hours and 33 minutes GMT BST in London, UK, the questioner had planned to visit the local shop in order to purchase a particular food item. They wanted to know whether or not the food item in question was in stock or not, and they asked the following question: is the item in stock? The number of syllables prevalent within the questioner's speech pattern generated a number sequence of 222. According to KhemAstroMath-Horary philosophy, the number sequence of 222 generates an ascendant that is between 0 degrees to 30 degrees absolute longitude. This translates to the tropical sign of Aries. This is the chart that was generated as a result. The delineational prediction is as follows. The item you seek is not in stock. The shop in question desires to make a large order of this particular food item due to the fact that it is not in stock. The sixth house, the sixth sector, represents the shop. The sun and the moon and Mercury, who are in the sixth, therefore represent the food item. Now, the lord of the sixth is Mercury. Mercury is under the beams of the sun. This indicates that the item is either not in stock or extremely low in stock and is about to be replenished. Now, the 12th part of Mercury is in the ninth, in detriment. Now, the ninth represents deliveries. Anything being delivered from a very long distance will be represented by the ninth sector, the ninth house. Mercury being the lord of the sixth, therefore representing the food item in question, and the 12th part of Mercury being in the ninth in detriment shows that the item in question is low in stock and that there is a need for a delivery in order to replenish the food item in question. Now, on top of this, the lord of the radical ninth, the place of the 12th part of Mercury, the lord of the radical ninth is Jupiter. The first part of Jupiter is in the ninth from the sixth. So Jupiter being in Taurus is in the ninth from the sixth. Again, the ninth represents deliveries. And the first part of Mercury is in the detriment of Jupiter, who is in the ninth from the sixth. So again, this is another testimony that there is a need for deliveries to be carried out in order for the item to be replenished. The 12th part of the sun is also in the ninth from the sixth, joined with Jupiter, and Jupiter happens to be the lord of the radical ninth, where the 12th part of the lord of the sixth is walking through Mercury in detriment. So again, this is further testimonies that the item in question is low in stock. A further testimony is that the lord of the ninth from the sixth is Venus, and Mercury and the sun are in the fall of Venus, who happens to be the lord of the ninth from the sixth. All of these put together conclude that the item in question is low in stock and or in non-existent appearance within the shop as a result of likely being very, very low in stock or not being in stock at all. Okay. Now, further testimonies of this is as follows. The lord of the ascendant, Mars, representing the person asking the question, is in the fall of the sun. The sun being in the sixth, representing being a co-signifier of the food item in question, and Mars, the lord of the ascendant, representing the person asking the question, being in the fall of the sun, means the person asking the question is not going to gain access to the food item. Further, the 12th part of the lord of the ascendant is in Aquarius, which is the 11th. The 11th represents hopes and desires of the person asking the question. The 12th part of the lord of the ascendant being in the 11th and being in the detriment of the sun, and the sun representing the food item. So the 12th part of the lord of the ascendant being in the 11th, desires, and in the detriment of the sun shows that the person asking the question will not be able to gain access to that which they desire. Further, not only is the 12th part of the Lord of the Ascendant in the 11th, but the 11th is also the 5th from the place of the Lord of the Ascendant. The 5th represents any type of enjoyment as a result of a form of luxurious activity and or consumption of a food item that would give the questioner joy from eating it. So therefore, the person in question will not gain what they desire from the actual shop and will not be able to enjoy the food in question. All right. Now, the second part of the delineation was as follows. The shop in question has a strong desire to make a large order of the particular food item due to the fact that it is not in stock. How do we know this? We know this because the Lord of the Sixth is in detriment in the 9th, representing deliveries. The Lord of the 9th is Jupiter, and Jupiter is in the exaltation of the moon. The moon being in the 6th also represents the food item, but also represents the emotional needs, wants, and desires of the shop, because the moon is also the Lord of the 11th from the 6th. The 11th, hopes, dreams, and desires. Now, the moon being the Lord of the 11th represents the 2nd from the 10th. The 10th from the 6th is a representation of what the shop works for. The shop works to make a profit. That's what they're working for. And Mercury being the Lord of the 10th from the 6th and being joined with the moon, who is the Lord of the 2nd from the 10th. The moon therefore represents profits that are made as a result of the shop's business transactions. All right. Now, Jupiter, who is the Lord of the radical 9th and also is in the 9th from the place of the 6th. Jupiter is in exaltation of the moon, who is the Lord of the 11th from the 6th. So therefore, the shop emotionally desires to make an order of the particular item, because the moon wants to be where Jupiter is, and Jupiter represents making an order, because Jupiter is the Lord of the 9th and Jupiter's Lord of the 9th and is in the 9th from the place of the 6th. All right. Now, further testimony of this is as follows. By declination, Mercury is in the 1st in Aries and is also joined with Venus by declination. So declinational Mercury, or for short, Decli Mercury, is in the 1st, and Decli Venus is also in the 1st. Decli Venus and Decli Mercury being in the 1st, Aries, and in the exaltation of the sun, and the sun representing the food item in question, exalting Decli Mercury and Decli Venus, and Aries, the 1st, being the 8th from the 6th, shows that the shop desires to make an order and spend money on ordering these particular items for the purposes of replenishing the shop with the particular food item. Now, I can keep going further and looking at multiple different geometric perspectives of how the answer to this question is being shown clearly within the chart, but I will stop here. The conclusion is as follows. The person asking the question went to the shop, and they went to the shelf where the food item is usually stored, and they found that the item was not in stock. They asked one of the shop floor workers if they have any more of that particular food item in stock, And the person they spoke to, she said to them, no, we do not have any more in stock, and we have made a huge order of this particular item because it has not been in stock for a while. This is the ThaBadbrey Herbalist Asar, ancient astrologer and astronomical mathematician of the Committee of Ancient Astronomical Mathematics, courtesy of ThaBadbrey Herbal.co.uk. Hakam Najum Dendra.